More than 100 years ago, in a small town in India, there was a very poor boy. He had no good school. He had almost no teacher. He had only one old book of numbers. People laughed at him, but today the smartest scientist in the world still read his work. How is this possible? This is the true story of Ramanujan. Ramanujan was born in a small town in the south of India. His family was very poor. Sometimes there was not enough food. But young Ramanujan had one great love: numbers. He looked at numbers the way other children looked at toys. He saw magic in them. Even as a small child, numbers made him happy. He had no paper to write on. So he sat on the floor of the quiet temple near his home. He wrote his numbers on the cold stone with a piece of chalk. Hour after hour, he played with numbers, alone. When he was a teenager, a friend gave him an old book. It was a book of thousands of math facts. For Ramanujan, this old book was a wonderful gift. He read it again and again. He had no teacher, so he taught himself. One old book and a big dream. Ramanujan loved math so much that he forgot everything else. At college, he studied only numbers. He did not study his other subjects, so he failed his exams. He lost his place at college not once, but 2 times. His family was worried. Numbers will not give you food, they said. Life was very hard. Ramanujan was poor and often hungry. To make a little money, he took a small job. He wrote numbers in an office all day long. But every night he came home to his true work. He filled notebook after notebook with new ideas. Beautiful, strange, wonderful math that no one had seen before. Sometimes he showed his notebooks to teachers in India, but they could not understand them. His ideas were too new, too strange. Some people said he was crazy. Some people just laughed. Nobody believed in him, but Ramanujan believed in himself. He never stopped. One day, Ramanujan had a brave idea. Far away in England, there was a famous professor named Mr. Hardy. He was one of the best math minds in the world. Ramanujan decided to write him a letter. He filled the pages with his best ideas and he sent them across the sea. In England, Professor Hardy opened the letter. At first, he thought it was a joke. Who was this poor, unknown man from India? But then Hardy looked again. And again. His heart began to beat fast. These ideas were not a joke. They were the work of a genius. This man, Hardy said, must come to England. In 1914, Ramanujan left his home and his family. He sailed across the world to England, to the great University of Cambridge. It was a long, hard journey for a poor boy who had once failed his exams. At Cambridge, Ramanujan and Professor Hardy worked together. They were very different men, but they shared one language: the language of numbers. Day and night, Ramanujan worked. He was often tired, and far from home he felt lonely. But when he found a new idea, his whole face filled with joy. Ramanujan showed the world ideas that seemed to come from a dream. The professors could not believe that a self-taught man knew so much. There is a lovely story from those days. One time Ramanujan was sick in bed. Professor Hardy came to visit him. Hardy said, "I came here in a taxi. Its number was 1729. What a boring number." But Ramanujan smiled. "No, my friend," he said, "it is not boring. It is a wonderful number." Even sick in bed, he saw magic in numbers that other people could not see. And then came the greatest award. Ramanujan was made a member of the Royal Society, one of the highest awards in all of science. He was one of the youngest people ever to receive it, a poor boy from a small town in India, a boy who taught himself, with one old book and a big dream. But this story is not only happy. England was cold and gray. The food was strange to him. Far from his family and his warm home, Ramanujan became very sick. In 1919, he sailed back to India, and a short time later he died. He was only 32 years old. It was a very sad end for such a bright and gentle man. His life was short, but his work will live forever. He left behind his notebooks, thousands and thousands of ideas. Even today, 100 years later, scientists around the world still study them. They still find new treasures inside. And here is something amazing. Ramanujan lived long ago, with no computer and no phone. But today, scientists use his math to design smart computers and to help keep information on the internet safe. A poor boy writing on a temple floor made a gift for people he would never meet. And here's the most beautiful part, my friend. Ramanujan had no fine school. He had no rich teacher. He had one old book, a big dream, and he never stopped. Right now, you're doing the same thing. You have this story, a big dream, and you never stop. If Ramanujan could do it, so can you. You did great, my friend. Now let me ask you 3 quick questions. Ready? Question 1. When Ramanujan was young, what did he love most? A. Music. B. Numbers. C. Cars. The answer is B. He loved numbers more than anything. Question 2. Who did Ramanujan write a letter to? A. A king. B. His brother. C. Professor Hardy in England. The answer is C. He wrote to Professor Hardy and it changed his life. Question 3. How did Ramanujan learn his math? A. At a big school. B. He taught himself. C. From his father. The answer is B. He taught himself with one old book and a big dream. Ramanujan believed in himself, even when no one else did. And you? You are working hard too to learn English. Never give up. If you understood the story, write, "I understand," in the comments. Like this video and subscribe for a new true story soon. Keep learning, my friend. See you next time.